Good evening, everyone. My name is Andree and I teach yoga at JCC. You may have noticed the days are getting longer, so when you start that class, it may still be daylight. Yes. Today we're going to concentrate on strengthening our core. So you're going to need 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap. So most of the poses we're going to do are going to be lying down either on our belly, prone, or supine on our back. So find a comfortable position right now with your legs crossed, or any position is comfortable for you right now. Okay. You're going to close your eyes, and let's together take a few breaths, observing the breath, observing the alignment of your spine in that position, feeling the root of the seat all the way to the top of your head. So remember, you have to be firmly grounded to the earth to be able to lift. Observing your breath, letting go of the day. Observing the thoughts in your mind. Now with your next exhalation, lower your head forward and open your eyes. Going to extend your legs out. Place your hands behind you. Lengthen the spine. So bring the back of your knees as close to the floor as you can. So right now I am sitting on the edge of a blanket to enable my spine to lengthen with more freedom. So you firming the legs, lengthening the spine. You can close your eyes to experience this moment. Now if you let go of the floor, you can open your eyes again. If you let go of the floor, place your hands on your legs and observe if you can still maintain the lengthening of your spine without using your hands behind you. So that becomes more of a core action. So the navel is pulled in, and that what lifts the spine. Now you're going to bend your right knee and bring your foot on the inside of your left leg. Bring your hands behind you again, lengthen the spine. Now remember, we're not going to go to a maximum right now because we're not warm enough, but you are going to turn toward your left leg. And then you swap forward. So you could have your hands by your side. You could use a strap, or you could grab the foot. So don't think of bringing your head to your shin. You are concentrating on pressing the back of your left knee to the mat and lengthening the spine. So you want to try to keep that back in a flat position as much as you can. Take a moment here to let go of the effort. And now slowly come back up, extend your right leg. Now bending your left knee, place your foot on the inside of your right leg. extend the spine. And just turn, facing the right leg, walk forward. Again, grab your foot, use a strap, or just keep your hands on either side of your leg and lengthen the spine. Concentrating on bringing the back of your knee as close to the floor as you can. Just holding this pose until you feel your body beginning to adjust to the pose. And slowly come back up, stretch both legs. Again, place your hands on your calves, on your hamstring, on your thighs. And then lift here, open the chest. Use the core muscles to lift the spine. Press the back of your knees to the mat. Closing your eyes again to feel your body deep inside. And then slowly bring your legs together. Now let's come to our hands and knees. You can put your props away. So taking the time to position your hands with all 5 fingers of each hand fanning out from the inside out. Now you energize the arm by rooting the hands to the floor. Once you have this, then take your mind to your core muscles. Let the belly relax as you inhale and pull the navel in as you exhale. Now, you may want to begin to move the spine, so inhaling into the spine extension, the cow position, exhaling, rounding the back into the cat position. Then inhaling, exhaling. Let's do 3 more breaths this way. One more breath. Now you're going to tuck your toes under and press to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Keep your mind on your core muscles. And come back to your knees. Now with your next inhalation, you're going to extend your right leg out behind you. You want to pause here, stabilizing the sacrum, and then extend your left arm, coordinating the arm and the leg to extend the spine. Exhaling, coming back to your hands and knees. Inhaling, extending the left leg back. Extending your right arm. Exhaling. Tuck your toes under. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. onto your knees. Stretch back to child's pose. Continue to focus on the breath. And let's come back to downward facing dog. Walk your feet to your hands and release in forward bend. With your next inhalation, stretch your spine. Come all the way up to Tadasana. Let your arms rest alongside your body. Close your eyes. Let your mind travel, beginning with the sole of your feet. And then you let the mind move up from the sole of the feet to the lower legs, to the knees, to the upper legs, to the hips, the waist, all the way up to the chest. Feel the shoulders, the head of the shoulders dropping away from your ears. And then move your awareness now to the top of your head. So now try to integrate the pose from the sole of the feet to the crown of the head and everything in between. Now I'm going to ask you to bring more awareness to your legs. Firm up the legs, so you're pressing the shins back, while at the same time you're dropping the tailbone. Now remember that action in your legs for the next pose that we are going to do. Now slowly open your eyes, sit on the floor. So the first pose that we are going to do, the core pose, is boat pose. So begin with your knees bent. Bring your hands behind you. Take a few breaths here now. Open the chest. You're going to lean back as you extend your legs up to the ceiling. So let's just do that for now. You can keep your hands on the floor. Concentrate on the extension of the legs. And now bending your knees. Coming back into a rest position. Observing the core muscles as you breathe. Now let's do this again. Press your hands behind you. Lean back, keep the chest lifted. And then extend your legs straight up to the ceiling. Letting go of the floor if you can. Stretch your arms toward your feet. Keep the navel pulled in. And then bend your knees for a resting position. Continue to concentrate on the breath. But let's do this again. Place your hands behind you. Lean back and stretch your legs up to the ceiling, letting go of the floor. Breathe in the pose. And then bend your knees for a resting position. Notice your breath may become a little bit more deep. Sometimes this is what happened to me after I work on the core and I take a rest. I feel more space in the front body, more space for the breath to move in. Now we are going to lie down on our back. You're going to interlace your fingers behind your head. Pause there. Now pull your head forward and lift your legs up. Hold that position. Feel the abdominal muscles working. And then release down to the floor. Keep the legs active, so it's not a totally restful position. You're lying down, but your body is ready to receive the pose again. Pulling the head forward, lifting the legs, looking straight at your toes. So the toes are about eye level. Exhaling to release down. Let the breath be quiet. To be able to control the breath in the effort really maximizes your power. You have more control. Let's do that one more time. Pull the head forward. Stretch your legs until the toes are eye level. Breathe. Try to keep the elbows wide. And release the legs. Bring your arms alongside your body, bend your knees. And just let your knees, like windshield wipers, swing from side to side. Coming back to the center. Use the floor, pushing the floor to come up. So we are going to do table pose, and we're going to do table pose either with this bed or leg extended, it's up to you. So you place your hands behind you, lift the spine, lift the chin, and now once you've done that, energize the legs and connect to the core muscles. So take a breath here. And then when you're ready, come up into the tabletop. Let your head release back. Exhaling. Come down and reach forward. And let's do this again. Place your hands behind you. Okay. Root to the floor. Lift the chin. And then lift the hips. And come down. Stretch forward. Again, no forcing, just doing what the body wants to do. So it could be that you're sort of stretching forward this way. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. All 10 fingers pointing forward. Extending up, rooting the hands to the ground. And then lift the hips up. And come down. You're going to lie down on your back. Again, let the legs, the knees swing from side to side like windshield wipers. Now, we're going to do some leg lift. You're going to extend the legs, extend the arms over your head. Imagine that someone is pulling on your wrist. So you want to feel that opening in the armpits and the shoulders. Keep that extension and begin to lift the legs up. Pause it here. Press the whole back to the floor. Keep stretching the arms over your head. And now let's slowly lower the legs down. Take a couple of breaths here. Feel your core muscles becoming activated. You will discover these deep muscles. Now preparing the body, extend the legs, extend the arms over your head. Slowly begin to bring the legs up. Pausing there. When the legs are vertical, pressing the whole back to the mat. And try to keep pressing the back to your mat as you lower the legs down. Take a couple of breaths here. You can relax the arms. Keep connecting to the legs. Keep connecting to the core in this restful position. Now we're going to do this one more time. Extend the arms over your head, reach back. Connect to the core, so you want to visualize the movement before you make it. Okay, pull the navel in and lift the legs up. Press your back to the floor. And then lower the legs back down. When the arms are alongside your body, bend your knees. And again, if you feel like doing this, you can rock the knees from side to side in a gentle motion, massaging the lower back. Then coming back to the center, cross at the ankles, roll up to come back to downward facing dog. Let's bring, as you come to downward facing dog, bring awareness to your core and to your back. Okay, we're using the legs and the arms to enable the spine to lengthen. Now you want to lift the navel in. As you lift the tailbone up, press the front of your shins back. Feel the stretch in the whole leg. Feel the power of your core. Feel the opening of the shoulders. And then come to your knees, to child's pose. Keep the arms extended. Let your head drop. Let's take 5 breaths here. Keep connecting to the core muscles and to the side body. And now let's come back up. And you're going to lower yourself all the way down to your mat. Okay, keep the hands by the lower ribs and begin to lift to baby cobra. Keep the elbows in, keep the legs extended. Exhale, coming back down. Let your forehead drop. Okay, press the top of your feet to the floor. Press the knees to the floor. Press the pubic bone to the floor. Inhale, come on. Baby cobra. Exhale down. One more time. Baby cobra. Press back. Touch your down to chest pose. Turn your hands and knees to downward facing dog. Now you want to walk your feet back, and some of you may be able to do that. You're going to roll over your feet, coming into upward facing dog. Rolling over the feet, back to downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come to your knees. Bring the arms alongside your body. Drop the head. Child's pose. And sit up. So when we stretch, we don't stretch in a vacuum. Everything emanates from the core muscles. So when you're stretching one leg, if you don't engage the abdominal muscles, you're putting too much stress on other parts of the body. So today we're learning to really connect to the core and use the core in every movement that we make. Okay, so for this position, some of you may want to sit on a blanket. So if you do sit on a blanket, have your blanket. And some of you may want to keep the leg extended. This is what we're going to do. You're going to stretch your right leg up. So those of you who want to keep the leg extended, this is what you're going to do. If you're able to do what I'm doing, and bend the left knee, having the heel on the outside of your left hip. Bending the right knee, grabbing the foot, coming into a stretch. Feel the core muscles working to keep the spine lengthening. Bending your knee, stretch both legs. So those of you who are doing it with both legs extended, you're going to bend the left knee and then stretch your leg up, pulling the core muscles. And those of you who want to do the other pose, you bend your, so if you decide to stay with the legs straight, you don't have to change, just working your pose. Bending the knee, grabbing the foot, pulling the abdominal muscles in. And then release the leg down and bring both legs down. Now we've had, I'm sure, a new connection to our legs. So what we're going to do now, we're going to repeat the tabletop with the straight legs and see if, because our legs are more relaxed now, we can lift higher. So bring your hands behind you. Okay, you extend the legs, you're pressing the back of your knees to the mat. You are pressing the ball of the feet forward toward the front edge of your mat, and then begin to lift into your tabletop. Keep those legs really active. Feel the core muscles. And then exhale. Come down. Bend your knees, lower yourself onto your back. And bring your knees into your chest. Hold the knees in. Keep the knees apart. So once again, let's rock from side to side. And then rotate the thighs into the hips. And bring the feet down. Pause here with the feet flat on the floor. Bring the shoulder blades down. Place your hands on your belly. Connect here. Connect the breath to your hands. So the next movement we're going to do for the core muscles, you have to be very careful. A lot of time we are way too aggressive with this movement. You're going to stretch your arms out and to the side, shoulder height. You can have the palms facing the ceiling, or you have your palms facing down. So pick the position that's comfortable for you. You're going to bend your knees in, stretch your legs out. So you don't want to hurt yourself doing that, so be very conservative. So let's bring the legs in, and just bring the legs a little bit out to the side. And hold there. And as you hold it, see, maybe I can go a little lower. But don't go, keep the control of the upper body, having the left shoulder pressing to the floor. Come back to the center, then using the abdominal muscles. So here we use the oblique abdominals. Bring the legs in a little bit, bring the legs just a little bit to the side, to the left. And you want to hold this. So it may be here that you're working the most, and you may want to stay here. But if you feel that, well, I can bring my leg a little bit more, then you do it until you feel that you are really working. So we are working hard depending on where we are in our practice. Always looking for the next challenge. Now bring the legs back up to the center. Bending the knees, bring the feet to the floor. So now we are going to do leg works, which involve the core, using a block. So you're going to take your block, and you're going to use it to put underneath your sacrum. The block, again, can be on this height or on this height. Now, at least it's very comfortable for you to have it on this height. You can definitely use it also on the low end, but challenge yourself and see if you always use it on the low end, maybe you want to try a little higher. If you always using it this way, maybe you want to try a little higher. So you always sort of explore to see where you are in the practice every time you do yoga. So let's lie down with the feet planted on the floor. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Now you're going to lift into the bridge as high as you can, then take the block and slide the block underneath your sacrum. And you can even lift your heels a little bit to get more height. Okay, so let's begin to lift. So if you lift the heels, you get a little bit more height, and then the block can slide underneath your sacrum. You want to take the time to have the block in a stable position. You pause here, keep lifting between the shoulder blades, feel the stretch in your belly, and now bring your legs up. Reach up to the ceiling. So let's begin first by opening the legs out to the side. Keep extending the legs away from each other. Feel the stretch on the inside of your thighs. And then with mindfulness, begin to drag your legs back together. So we are considering the legs, but I don't want you to forget your core muscles. So make sure that the core muscles are engaged as you do this movement. Opening the legs out. So you pulling the navel in. And you engage the core even more with each exhale. Then draw your legs back together. I'm going to do this one more time. Extend your legs, reaching the legs away from each other. Although the legs are engaged, let gravity capture your legs. Feel that. And then drive the legs back up. Now you bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor. Now we're going to do a leg extension, but this time I'm going to have you to go on the lower part of your block. So I'm on a medium height because I was on a high height. If you were on the medium height to begin with, then you bring the block flat. And if you have your block flat, you stay where you are. Okay, now let's stretch your legs up, extend your arms over your head. So you can have the palms facing up, or you can have the palms facing each other, any comfortable position. But stretch those arms over your head. Keep the left leg where it is. Let's first begin to bring the right leg toward you. Try to keep the left leg vertical. Now, you're going to switch and bring the right leg forward to the center of your mat. Bring it down as far down as you can, without bending the knee. Connect to the right side of your belly. And then slowly bring the leg back up. Using the core to do that. Very important. You know, keeping the right leg where it is, bring your left leg toward you. So you're extending both legs away from each other. So the right leg stays in a vertical position. The left leg comes over your head. And I'll bring the left leg back up and let it come down on the other side. Stretch into the far edge of your mat without bending the knee. And then bring the leg back up next to your right leg. Now let's bring both legs toward you. Again, you can continue to do one leg at a time. So we're not going all the way bringing the legs to the floor. We're just exploring here a modified alasana. Keep stretching the legs. Now you're going to bring the legs back to vertical. And lower the legs forward until either they parallel to the floor or they come down without bending the knees. Bring the legs back up. Bring the legs over your head. Keep the belly engaged. So you let go of the block and bring your legs all the way back. Arms over your head, lifting the thighs away from the floor. And then slowly come down, bend the knees, slide the arms by your side. Pause here for a couple of breaths. Connecting the breath to the belly and to the chest. And now we're going to come up. You can take your strap. So I'm going to hold on to my toes, but using a strap. So we did both poses at the beginning of class. And now we are going to do both poses again, but this time we're going to have the strap around the feet, or you can hold on to your big toes. So let me demonstrate with the strap first. So you place the strap in any, usually I like when I do this, if I'm using the strap, I like to put the strap on the heels. Now you have your legs together, you begin to lift the feet up. Bring your legs to tabletop. Now pause here, bringing your thighs and your chest toward each other, and then extend the legs up. Have the arms fully extended, so you hold on as close to your feet as you can. Keep the chin lifted. Feel the belly wanting to pull in to balance on your tailbone. Let the breath be soft. Now bending the knees, bring the feet down to the floor. Now we're going to do this 2 more times. So keep using the strap, or see if you can grab your big toes. Okay? So if you grab the big toes, hold on here just like you did before. Pull the navel in, lengthen the spine, and then begin to stretch the legs. Keep the belly pulled in. It's all about the core, so the legs can extend to the fullness when the core is engaged. Let the breath be soft. And then slowly bend your knees for a rest position. Take deeper breath in between. Feel the diaphragm floating up and down with the breath. Now we're going to do this one more time. You can keep holding on to the strap. You can keep holding on to your toes if that's what you were doing. But if you were holding on to your toes, maybe you want to try holding on to the side of your feet. So, you grab the side of your feet, bring the legs to tabletop, same action. Okay. And I'll begin to stretch the legs up. So these poses are effort, but within the effort, there's a letting go. So there's no gripping, no tightening. You could open the legs out to the side. If you use a strap, don't do that. Bring the legs back to the center. Keep the belly pulled in. Let's do this one more time. Open the legs out to the side. And bring the legs back to the center. And bend your knees. And then we're going to finish with a side stretch. So extend your legs out. Bend your right knee. Place the foot on the inside. Now I like to bring my left leg more in a little bit. Don't have the left leg out too much. But if it was for you, have the left leg out. Okay. Just know, when we do yoga, there is no rules. There's a rule about the alignment of the spine. There's some rules about the breath. But the body is going to dictate how you do a pose. So keep the body in charge of what you're doing. We function too much from the top down. So sometimes it's good to let the body speak to the head as opposed to the head speaking to the body. Okay, so lengthen your spine. Now if you need a blanket underneath your sitting bones, you can sit on the blanket. Now turn toward your left leg. So we didn't go forward yet. Have your strap, and then place the strap around the foot or grab your big toe. Take your other hand to your right here. Now bend the elbow, place the elbow on the inside of your left knee. And begin using the oblique abdominals to move the belly to face more and more of the ceiling. And then bring the top arm by your ear. See how far can you go in the stretch. Keep pressing your knee and your elbow to each other. Keep looking up to the ceiling. And then slowly come back up. Stretch your right leg, stretch both legs. And then bending your left knee, bring the foot on the inside of your right leg. That pose can be done also with both legs extended. So one of the rules also is that when you cannot do a pose because it feels like it's beyond what your body is going to receive, then try to do something within the same form. Something that sometimes we learn things about ourselves when we modify on our own by letting the body speak to the mind. Okay, turn to your left leg, keep the spine lengthening. And now use your strap or grab your big toe, place your elbow on the inside of your knee, and use that traction to open the belly. Ready, tap on by your ear. And then slowly come up. And stretch both legs. Now, let's keep your legs nice and wide. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to place our hands behind us. And notice, is it easier now to lift the spine than it was at the beginning of class? Press the back of your knees to the floor. And then if you can, grab your big toe, or you stay here, okay? If you're able to grab your big toe, pull on the big toe to keep the spine lengthening. Breathe in and breathe out. Connect to the core muscles right now. And you know, you don't have to take my word for it. For example, if you here, just let the belly relax and see what happens. And now, pull the belly in. And then slowly come up. So sometimes we do the opposite so that we can understand the right action. Okay? We are going to finish now. We are almost to Shavasana. So we're going to start by doing recline cobra pose. And you are going to use the blanket. And when you use a blanket for cobra pose, you want the blanket to be right on the upper thigh. So if you have a blanket like mine, open it up a little bit, but not too much. And then make a roll this way. So place the roll underneath the upper thigh. You can even almost sit on the blanket once you lie down. Okay. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let your knees release out. Again, letting gravity pull your thighs toward the floor. So make sure the blanket is giving you the support right at the hip joint. So you don't want any compression there. So if you feel compression, then use your blocks and bring your knees a little higher. Now walk the shoulder blades on your back so that you have the natural lift of the chest. You can press your hands on your belly and let's again breathe mindfully, connecting to the belly. So if you don't control anything, you notice that when you inhale, the belly moves into your hands. And when you exhale, the belly retracts away from your hands. Now you can observe the natural movement of the breath in your core. And once you understand it, you can begin to control it a little bit. So let's take a deep inhale, filling your hands with your belly. And then exhale, pull the belly in, actively doing it. And now inhaling and exhaling. On your own, do 5 breaths this way. You can take no more breaths in between. So this is a deep inhale. And slow exhale. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. Now move your hands up to your chest as you take your next breath. Deep inhale. Try to maintain the opening in your chest as you slowly exhale. So avoid the chest collapsing as you exhale. Okay, let's take a normal breath. Okay, one more time. Take the deep inhale. Hold. And slow exhale. And at the end of your exhalation, let the whole body relax. Move the blanket a little bit more forward so it can be either underneath your thighs or underneath the knees, and extend your legs out, setting up for Shavasana. Bend the elbows, use the elbows to lift and slide the shoulders down your back, and let the back of your hands rest by your side. Close your eyes and let go of control. Feel the softness and the depth of your breath. Feel your body releasing into space. And feel alive in this moment. Now you can stay in Shavasana if you feel really relaxed, or you can bend your knees, roll to your side to come up to a seated position. Change the cross of your legs. Thank you so much for being with me this evening. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I wish you a wonderful evening until we see each other next week. Thank you very much. Bring the palms together and then bow to yourself with gratitude. Namaste. Thank you.